Welcome back to another episode of the Lavesh Ballet Show. Australia was a magnificent race as usual with some brilliant highlights from FP1 all the way to the main race on Sunday. You're going to want to listen till the end of this episode because what a race we had. Now, I wasn't exactly sure where to begin with today's episode because I think there's just too much to say, but I think I managed to narrow it down nicely. Like, if you didn't wake up on Sunday to watch it, you missed out on something special, and now I just feel sad for you. But that's why you have me. So let's get into the rundown of the Australian Grand Prix that happened this past weekend. So this weekend began with Albon destroying his car at turn 6. And yes, I mean destroy. A wheel went flying and the chassis was damaged and a bit of other damage was reported too. So due to this, Albon had to sit out FP2 while the team inspected the car. Later on in the day, we got hit with the news that Williams did not have a third chassis and would not be able to get one in time to get their second car back on the track. This meant that Albon would sit out the rest of the race on Sunday, or so we thought. In a surprise move that was honestly rather unfair, Williams announced that Albon would relieve Sargent of his car and instead Sargent would sit out the race. A bit controversial, yes, but what can we say? Williams are desperate for points at the moment. FP1 saw about 7 cars being separated by a tenth of a second from each other. Not the most normal thing to expect, but it happened. Now, we also had a whole bunch of cars sliding across some of the turns thanks to the high-speed corners that the circuit delivers. This was all from FP1, FP2 and FP3 until the guys managed to get a hang of their cars in qualifying. On to the main race now. We had quite a lot of action to look forward to, including a very interesting twist of events. At lap 2, Sainz had a nice little push to pass Verstappen and take an early lead in the race. The excitement of this overtake was rather short-lived though, as some of the most interesting events occurred afterwards. Verstappen had an early exit from the Grand Prix after his car had some brake-related issues, which saw some smoke puffing out of the right rear side of his car. While making his way to the pit lane, the brake area caught fire. This saw Max retire from the race for the first time in 2 years, and that being at lap 5. Sainz made his return to the track after his appendicitis surgery, which saw him miss the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix 2 weeks back, and boy, what a return it was. Sainz pulled out an amazing performance and maintained a Verstappen-like lead over his opponents. I'm pretty sure that the Ferrari fans are crying in a tiny little corner, knowing that their team gave up the gem that is Sainz. Now, moving on to our next wild moment in Australia, Hamilton had to make an early exit of the Grand Prix as well. Unfortunately for the Brit, who will be moving to Ferrari next year to replace Sainz, his Mercedes had engine failure during lap 17. This incident resulted in a yellow flag and a virtual safety car, which followed Alonso to pit and save himself some valuable time. Around lap 29, a very interesting call was made by the McLaren team, who called for a switch of positions between Piastri and Norris. Now, you may ask, why would this be interesting? Well, Piastri was 3rd and Norris was 4th. However, this was Piastri's home race and was the fan favorite, so having him push to get a podium finish would have been momentous. Moving ourselves over to the final lap of the Grand Prix, Mercedes lost the remaining car they had in the race after Russell went onto the gravel and saw his car slide into the wall at turn 6. This left his car on its side with quite a bit of damage, resulting in a virtual safety car. The race ended with the 2 Ferraris topping off the field with Sainz in 1st and Leclerc in 2nd. The 2 McLarens came out 3rd and 4th, with Norris taking the podium. The weekend ended off with Ferrari just 4 points behind Red Bull in the Constructors' Championship. And that's it for this week. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you for listening to the Lavesh Ballet Show. My name is Lavesh and I am your host.